my name is Elizabeth Vasquez, and I'm going to give you a brief summary of what transpired today on Tuesday, October 23rd, at the 2012 chapter of the La Salettes here in Orlando, Florida. The chapter, which takes place every 3 years, is an opportunity for the La Salette province as a whole and as a community to carry out its formal decisions, make formal decisions, and for example, elections. And this was a chapter in which elections are going to be taking place. Started today and will continue tomorrow. But what's different about this chapter is that the election is being carried out in a context of appreciative discernment, which is a process or a way of approaching the work of the province that is focused on positive gifts and attributes of the province and a way of visioning the future for the province in a very positive way. And this is a process that's been used by La Salettes over the last several years, and this year in the regional meetings during the year it was discussed specifically. So I think probably people seeing this video may know what appreciative discernment is, but just to give you a quick refresher, there's 4 elements to appreciative discernment. There's the element of discovery, in which you think about, talk about, work on, and be mindful of the gifts that you have and the blessings that you have and the everything that as a province and as individuals that you are good at. And so you think about the strengths of the province under the discovery phase. The next part of appreciative discernment is the dreaming part. And that is where you imagine, how could we be our very best, our most faithful province and community, if we were all that we dream and hope we could be. And then the next part of appreciative discernment is design, in which you imagine, how would it look if we were the most faithful that we could be. This is, how could we be better? This is, how would it really look, and how would it work, and how could we design things so that we could be the best province. And then the fourth part is about doing carrying out the acts that have been planned and thought about during the process. And it has to do with individual commitments as well as commitments of the province as a whole, the community as a whole. So this approach is a way of coming at tasks and initiatives, and in this case, the election. So it was provided the context for the election of a provincial superior. So along with the overall context of appreciative discernment, there were other contexts. We were led in this process by Father Bill Nordenbrock of Precious Blood Order, and he gave other contexts in which the community could consider the selection of its leadership. One was, and most importantly, the vision for the province that was developed at the last assembly. And so he refreshed everyone on what the vision was that they themselves had developed, and said that leadership needs to be considered in terms of who is the best individual to help the province achieve the vision that it has established for itself. So if the leader doesn't choose the vision, the leader helps the community get to the vision. And then the second context element here is there was a framework for understanding leadership and its role in an appreciative community, and that is what the La Salette province is becoming, an appreciative community, so that there's a way of approaching leadership which is a very facilitative, consultative kind of an approach to leadership. Rather than a top-down kind of an approach. It's more of a gathering of ideas and so on to make decisions. And so this was a good way to look at leadership as preparing to select leaders. And then the third element in the preparing for the election was a chance for the members of the province to talk to each other in small groups and to gain the insights and the reflections of one another as they consider who would be best suited and the right person for the times and for the vision that we have and for the kind of leadership that will work best in our province. And so those conversations help the members learn from one another about what would be a good way to select, or a good kind of leadership to select, person to select for leadership. So the results of this election that were carried out in this highly consultative kind of a way are that Father Skip Negley was elected on the second ballot. And it was a very positive kind of an experience. He spoke briefly after he had been elected, and he expressed his gratitude in a very humble, kind of a tender way, and that he was so appreciative of being selected as a servant leader for the province. And so it was a moving time and an emotional time and a very happy time. It was a joyous kind of an experience after the election had been held. In fact, there was a break shortly afterwards, and everyone had cookies and coffee and felt really good about the experience. It was a very positive experience. And so then that left us time this afternoon to do some more work, some of the business of the chapter, because that had finished, the elections had finished in the first phase in a very timely way. So there were two other matters that we took up. One was the financial report by Sister Carmel, and she reported the same information. She provided an overview and highlights of the same information that she's been talking about in her visits to the regions. So chances are, if you're a La Salette, a member of the La Salette community, you have some familiarity with the financial report for this year. And so, and then that was followed by a lively question and answer session. And then we had a report from the Bolivia-Argentina region that was given by Father Norm Butler. And again, a good dialogue followed that with a number of questions and comments by the community members. So that's the work of today. It ended, the working sessions ended, and then were followed by a mass this afternoon, and then dinner together. So that's the way Tuesday went. I want to just say a word about what we anticipate for tomorrow. On Wednesday, we will continue the appreciative discernment process and the consultation amongst members and the small group discussions leading up to the election of councilors. Of course, 2 councilors will be elected tomorrow, and they will be the individuals who will be working with Father Skip over the next 3 years to lead the province. And so we would encourage you to check this web location tomorrow night, because we'll be giving you another summary. We'll be talking about Wednesday and what transpired, what came out of these elections, and the other business of the chapter for Wednesday. Look forward to talking to you then.